Just going to go into the meeting now, the public meeting. Good, excellent. So I just want to get all the cats in and rounded up. We'll be all right. Okay. And this is a public meeting to be held at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. The Community Improvement Plan (CIP). I'll act as chair of the public meeting, and I'll call the meeting to order and request any member of the public present to please sign the attendance record. Oh, can you sign that? Like in there, I think there's one that says public for this one. And state the following: if a person or public body does not make oral submissions at the public meeting or make written submissions to the town of Minto before the community improvement plan is adopted, the persons or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the town of Minto, the local planning appeal tribunal, and the persons or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of the appeal before the tribunal unless, in the opinion of the board, there is reasonable grounds to do so. Acting Clerk Duff to state the community improvement plan applies to all of the town of Minto on purpose and effect of the application date notice was set.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Bridge. The purpose and effect of the proposed amendment to the Community Improvement Plan is to enhance and extend the 2009 and 2015 Community Improvement Plans to include new incentives and to introduce additional provisions into the town CIP so that the county may also provide grants and loans to eligible landowners or tenants undertaking community improvement projects in the town. The notice was advertised in the Minto Express and posted on the Town of Minto website on May the 8th, 2019. Following comments were received, the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and those comments are attached. That's all.
Okay, I will call on the Town of Minto staff member to provide comments, and that would be Melinda, regarding the proposed amendment to the Community Improvement Plan.
I'm going to scroll through here. Is this okay like that?
That's good.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So it's just a little presentation on what is a community improvement plan and some of the things that we've seen happen here in Minto as a result of ours. So basically, as you know, CIPs are a sustainable community planning tool used by municipalities to revitalize areas of a city or community through programs, grants, and incentives. They are also used to address the reuse and restoration of lands, buildings, and infrastructure, address growth management challenges, plan for rehabilitation, development, and land use change. The Ontario Municipal Act states that a municipality shall not assist directly or indirectly any manufacturing business or other industrial or commercial enterprise through the granting of bonuses for that purpose. The only exception to offering such assistance is if a community improvement plan is approved by the local municipality. So the town of Minto can only offer incentives because it has an approved community improvement plan, commonly referred to as a CIP. And we have had that since 2009. And incentives to be offered must be outlined in the CIP, and it must be updated every 5 years. So this one, you will note, is updated sooner because of the county introducing their CIP, and we need to open ours up to let their incentives apply in our community. So Minto CIP 1020 acknowledges this successful 10-year program. It has been 10 years, and the 20th year since Minto's amalgamated. So I want to take you back to when we started the CIP and remind you of why we did this. Back in 2008, 7, 8, I would say, our downtowns were in crisis, I would say. I remember Treasurer Duff and myself going down and sitting with OMACRA and saying, we need help to revitalize our downtowns. It was a sad state of affairs. We heard loud and clear from our residents that they wanted us to invest in our downtowns, and they want to see these buildings fixed up and occupied. And this was one way that we were able to do that. So these are some of the buildings in downtown Hairston, if you remember. In Hairston, the former Old Post, and now where the prescription shop is. I'm going to get to what they look like now. The old Agro Trend building and the building on William Street that used to have, at this time of this photo, the windows and doors, and at one time a cafe and a bake shop. And today, as a result of our CIP, significant improvements have been made. I'm a big proponent of this program, and yeah, it's amazing to see the results that have happened. So The old post, then the old post now. The interior of the old post. So this building that sat vacant, falling apart for numerous years, that the community wanted us to purchase ourselves and take care of because of this program. Without a doubt, Michael, Hendrik, and Sue will tell you, because of this program, they purchased this property and have invested a significant amount of money, and now houses numerous businesses. Hair Therapy, MP Nader's office, Triton Engineering, Mailbox Coffee, the Escape Room, another escape room to be coming in the postscript. If you remember back to the Agrotrend building, now look at Brent Young Seeds. We are their only Ontario location of this growing company, and what a difference this makes on a key corner in Clifford, not downtown specifically, but a key corner in Clifford. The Bombay Hub and Coffee Cafe, soon to be opening, hopefully the middle of this month, at least the cafe. Remember how bad that building sat, deteriorating for many years, to the point where we went in and thought it should be torn down. And instead, this property owner has invested significantly in this property with 3 storefronts and 7 apartment buildings.
What you can't see is on the other side of Deb's Hair Center there, all the paint was coming off too, so it was just terrible.
Yeah. The former prescription shop property. So if you remember that building there, how horrible that looked.
Yes.
The prescription shop did not take advantage of the structural grant, but they did take advantage of the facade and the signage grant program. We didn't have the structural one this time. But again, like, what a difference on our main streets. William Street, the property that Sean Wells purchased, again, purchased this building, invested it because of our program. Without our program, would not have done this, and they will tell you firsthand. Mike Wilson did a report on this last year in the newspaper. And he already has the first unit downstairs. The commercial unit is going to be a hearing aid business coming in there I think in June, but it might be a little later. And all of his apartments are also rented out, 4 apartments. This was another program. This is not a structural one either. It's a facade and signage program. This was on Norman Street property and is a laundromat. And there's like, is there 11 apartments or something in here? With the house too? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 10 apartments and a laundromat.
Parking.
And lots of parking.
With their own parking.
Yes. This one is like an amazing transformation. Brent Lavallee bought this property in downtown Palmerston. Brent's actually invested, I think, now in 3 properties in the downtown. And yeah, what a transformation. The Studio Brow is going to have their opening on the unit on the left, June 17th. And he's also in talks with someone to rent the other commercial space. This was a pretty sad corner in downtown Palmerston, housing some sketchy characters, and now is home to 4 TG Minto employees in their apartments.
A new business.
A new business, and maybe another one.
Yeah.
So the structural grant program alone, which started in 2015 to 2018, has seen quite a return on investment of $3.53 for every dollar that we've invested. I wanted to showcase some of the facade and signage grants. That ugly building on the left is now the home of Allure Street Flowers, which Scott and Lacey Koslag, a local young couple, purchased and totally have transformed into a beautiful storefront and business. There's that car wash laundromat. You sometimes forget how bad things looked before when you are used to seeing what they look like now. The Hairston Bakery. It's funny, after this transformation, you think everyone knows where the Hairston Bakery is, and then people are like, oh, we didn't even know you had a bakery. It's like, what? And all because of the facade and signage grant program. Hearth and Leisure, you remember what it used to look like to today, took advantage of the facade and signage grant program. Brown's Insurance, again, took advantage of this program. For the facade only portion, this is not from 2015 to 2018. It's actually over the whole course of the program, which started in 2009 to the end of 2018. So $4.13 to $1 return on investment for that. And just a couple signage ones. I didn't want to go through them all because there's a lot of signage grants. But Leonard's General Store took advantage of the signage program for the Clifford Homecoming, making his store a significant improvement there. and the Perfect Piece, one of our new businesses in downtown Hairston, showcasing some of the great work being done there. And as you know from the last council meeting when we approved those other structural and signage grants and facade grants, our return on investment has even gone up substantially more, and there's a lot of great work happening in our downtowns. So the signage only program, it's a little bit of lower return on investment because it's a lower grant, but $2.60. And then overall, all grants, you can see the construction value just for the eligible components. So these people have invested way more than this. This is just on the eligible components, but return on investment of $3.68. So what are the changes from the previous plan to this plan? We're expanding the boundary to include all of Minto, so places like Tividale can apply, and I actually have an application waiting for a Tividale business.
Good.
We're providing new incentives related to public art, outdoor patios, tree planting, and watershed planning. As you can see where we're going with a lot of our downtown activities, this is going to enhance our downtowns even more. And obviously the fact of allowing us to include the county's Invest Well program incentives for our businesses as well. And we continue to support in this program our signage, facade, and structural incentives, and the brownfield property redevelopment, as well as our tax increment financing grant. So that's my report, if there's any questions.
Questions?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Bridge. Who all's involved in this? Like, is it just us, or is it other towns and municipalities taking advantage of it?
In the county? Or
Yeah,
like
in this
everywhere?
county, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of communities are fairly new to the CIP process in Wellington County. I know Erin and Guelph Aramosa have just started programs. Mapleton has started one in the last couple of years. Centre Wellington, Minto, and Wellington North have been more active, and Fuslinch, I don't know if they have.
Fuslinch has one now.
But it's fairly recent too, right?
Pretty recent.
So in the county, everyone has one now. Some of them are very recent though, and others like ours have been in effect for quite some time. I know our program is very successful because we've been asked to speak at numerous places. Even like next week, we're speaking in Wingham, like Belgrave, North Huron, about this program.
8:30 in the morning or whatever.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Yeah.
Get up before breakfast.
I just want to say I love the success of this program because a lot of those buildings downtown people and people that talked to me said we should have a match or a bulldozer.
Yeah.
And with the incentive for the landlord to go ahead and do what they do, some of them have put $1 million into those buildings, and so it's peanuts of what we give them, but they wouldn't have started if we didn't have that little push that you needed to get ahead with it. So this program's just been super, and our communities are gaining by it, and I think it's great.
I just like to make a comment on the fact that in 2009 we were the first to do this pretty well in our area.
Yep.
And when people copy you, you must be doing something right. And when we brought this to the county's attention, and the county now will bring you more dollars. One of the reasons why we have to do this amendment, as you know, is so that we match up with the county. So when we go out into the rural as well, but they're going to become with dollars for us on some of our projects. So some will come from the county with the idea that they realize that it increases the tax base. When you bring these properties, like the old post is a good example, was paying almost nothing for taxes when they were empty, and one part of it was residential even.
Yeah.
So, and we move it into having those businesses in there, and I don't know how many employees are in there now, but do you have a number on that?
I think Triton itself is up to like 7.
Seven, and maybe adding another one. So
yeah, there's
Well,
and all those people are downtown shopping at the other businesses.
And I know the taxes have gone up fairly good on that.
Yeah, and one good property, it's as Melinda says, it's a bad cycle. Bad property drags everybody down.
Yeah.
But we're seeing in all our 3 towns that the good properties are influencing their neighbors, and so the overall property, and that helps our assessment.
And you heard earlier the town rising thing. If you didn't have this already started, that would be pretty hard for the town to rise. And we all have been there. So, and when we look at these numbers, and you pointed it out, it's just the part that qualifies that we're
correct.
So when you actually look at the numbers, they put a lot more money in some of these buildings that show up there. So it's more probably on an 8 or 9 to 1 investment.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great program. The county's taking it on. I think this will really be an incentive to finish up some of the projects we got out there. And the CIP brings a lot of things to the table too. It has other tools in there that we can maybe work on, attainable housing and other things that are part of the CIP as well. So without this program, you can't do some of these things. As was pointed out, you can't give anybody breaks unless you have a program like this. So I really give you and your department, Linda, a lot of credit for working on this and getting this thing to this point. And anyways, that's all I have for now.
And thanks to our property owners for
investing in
for the
investment.
communities.
Our local contractors
Okay.
did a lot of work.
Any more questions for Linda? Because then I'm going to ask if anyone wishes to. Well, some of you sit in favor, but anybody else? Sorry, Mike, you're the one I have to look at there. Anyone in opposition? No, just come to observe. I appreciate that. Okay, good. Okay, and members of the council had all opportunity to ask any questions. This is just sort of bringing the county into play and that we're moving it out. Okay, then I will state, if you wish to be notified of the decision of the council of the town of Minto in respect to the proposed community improvement plan, you must make a written request to the deputy clerk of the town of Minto at 5941 Highway 89, Harrison, NOG 1ZO, or email at annaleen@town.minto.on.ca. There's no further comments. I will adjourn this public meeting. Okay. What's this one now? Well, it's not written up.
We have to pick someone.
Oh, we have to pick someone. Oh, no, this is really.
I'll move that, Mayor Bridge.
Can you move that for me,
One of
Deputy
our
Mayor
late-
Tone?
our late-
And Jeff? David and Jeff. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. The Committee of the Whole convenes a regular council meeting. All in favor?
Thank
Notice
you.
as a motion? No. Okay,
Now we're back.
we're back. Moved by Councillor Gunston, second by Councillor McKenzie. The Council of Town of Minto ratifies the motion made in the Committee of the Whole. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Anderson, second by Deputy Mayor Turton. The bylaw number 2019-55 to appoint Mike Duche as the compliance coordinator pursuant to the Safe Drinking Water Act be introduced, read first, second, and third time, passed and open to council, sealed of the corporation. All in favor? You guys scared Mike a little bit. I thought he was a bit nervous standing up there. I don't know what you were doing, poor guy. Well, we'll get him doing some reports and he'll loosen up.
Well, Mike Doucette.
Yeah.
Oh,
How would we scare him?
I'm just kidding. I don't think he was real comfortable yet.
Oh,
We'll get him
well,
into that.
There's a difference between being uncomfortable and being
I
scared.
know, I'm just kidding. Moved by Councillor Elliott. Oh my goodness. Moved by Councillor Elliott. Second by Councillor Dirksen that whereas the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change Safe Drinking Water Act is regulating a municipal drinking water license program, and whereas the municipal drinking water licensing program is required of the Justice O'Connor Part 2 of the Walker Inquiry Report, and whereas the certificate of approval which the town of Minto's water systems now operate under will be eliminated upon the accreditation will operate under the municipal drinking water license. And whereas the corporation of the town of Minto developed a drinking water quality management standard for its municipal water systems as first endorsed in May 9, 2007 by Resolution 19307. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the town of Minto publicly states that the commitment to the drinking water quality management standard and that further that the Council of the Corporation of the town of Minto acknowledges that Mike Doucette, compliance coordinator, a very capable and qualified town of Minto employee, is appointed to the position that will ensure the drinking water quality management system proceeds as follows. Procedures are followed. Sorry. All in favor? Want me to read that again just in case?
No.
Okay, good. Practice that one. Should have let you do that one, Dave. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, second by Councillor Gunston. Bylaw number 2019-56 to authorize the community improvement plan in the town of Minto be introduced and read first, second, and third time and passed on the council, seal of corporation. All in favor?
oh, excuse me.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Turton, second by Councillor Elliott. The bylaw number 2019-58 to exempt part lot control for lands being part of park lots 4, 5, and 6 northeast of George Street and parts 1 and 2 of the plan 61R 2158-5 in the former town of Harrison, town of Minto, be introduced, read first, second, and third time, passed open to council, seal of the corporation. All in favor? I'm having a hard time.
It's okay.
here.
It's okay. Take your
Yeah.
time, man. Take your time.
Yeah, we're not in a rush. Are we running out of tape? No. Moved by Councillor Dirksen, second by Councillor McKenzie, that the bylaw number 2019-58 to confirm the actions of the council of the corporation of town of Minto expecting a meeting held June 4th, 2019 be introduced and read first, second, and third time and passed in open council, COC of the corporation. All in favor? Moved by Councilor Anderson, second by Deputy Mayor Turton. The Council of the Town of Minto adjourned to meet again at the call of the mayor. All in favor of that? Excellent. Good meeting, everybody. Thank you.